Hey, what's up everyone? Shit, I've got some square, I know it's going away. Going live on here brings up a few new things each time. So, okay, I haven't done a video for a while on YouTube. Been really busy with lots of things, as the main thing being the move to Madeira. So I'm here now. It is such a beautiful place, really good energy. It's a beautiful day. Very lush and lots of palm trees, and they really look after it. These guys are constantly making it look beautiful, and so I'm just been doing some hunting, shopping for the family and going home. So I want to talk about meditation. This was triggered by someone who wants to join my course that I spoke with yesterday, and his question was, he kind of knows that there's something else. He's read a few books, Eckhart Tolle and everything, and he knows kind of intellectually that we are not the mind. And that's, he kind of said, I've done a little bit of meditation, but it's not a habit. And that is a very interesting comment. Also, someone on Twitter or the other day said, is meditation useful? And it just shows that there's a lack of understanding about, in my experience, my opinion, what meditation is. I just want to clarify my thoughts on that, mainly for myself. Hopefully this will be interesting for you also. You probably got your own thoughts on meditation. So I wrote back to the guy on Twitter that, is knowing yourself useful? So I kind of quote tweeted, is knowing yourself. And so if we start off from that first principle, like why do we want to know ourselves, then I think you'll see that the only way to know yourself is through meditation. So let me clarify. First of all, meditation for me, and I've been messing around with it for many years, over 20 years. Meditation is not, well, it is for some, sitting down in a room on a mat, your fingers like in a circle, and then you desperately try not to think about anything, and you just focus on your breathing. So your mind's going nuts, and you try and not think by focusing on counting or breathing or an app. Now, I'm not saying those things don't do anything, but they're like a way to, well, if you're focusing on your breathing, you'll feel better afterwards. You'll feel calmer because you'll be numb, and you'll have relaxed your body. But for me, they're just it's like a tool or a technique to try and calm yourself down when you're stressed. But there's no resolution. There's nothing that you're gonna long-term get out of it. And that's why what I see happens is people do it for a bit, and then it doesn't become a habit because it's too difficult. And most of the people that need the meditation the most are the ones who are the most, with the fastest minds, most intellectual. So they know meditation's important, but then they have a go at this thing that they think it is, and it's not that. Okay, let me just change over my hands. So, get my hand out of the way. Now, meditation. So, for me, in my experience, in my working on myself, is meditation is knowing myself. Now, why do I want to know myself? Well, I am not my mind. I have a mind, and it has all of humanity's conditioning in it. So if I want to know what's in my mind so that I can understand it, so I can be free from it, I have to observe it very closely. Otherwise, I have no idea what's going on in there. So firstly, meditating on your own in a room or in a cave or whatever is like doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or mixed martial arts on your own. Yeah, you can kind of learn the moves, but it's not applicable. Real meditation is done when you have kids, or you're at work, or in a relationship, or you're interacting with other people, because that's when you will be triggered, and your conditioning will be triggered, and then you'll see it. And so meditation is done in real time if you want to do the proper, if you really want to know yourself. And this isn't for the light-hearted. This is people who are serious about freeing themselves from their minds. You need to be in a situation where you get triggered, or you see your conditioning. So, for instance, I went to do a meet with a lawyer and a friend here about some business proposals. And at one point, something was said. It wasn't anything nasty or anything, but it triggered me because I realized in this particular area I was completely out of my depth. And so I immediately switched on and started observing how I was reacting to that. Okay, so it's like a canary in the coal mine. When you get triggered, when you feel uncomfortable or some sort of discomfort, that is gold. That is gold. You got to go. You got to start. Now, what do? Well, you observe it without any commentary. Sorry if there might be a couple of buses coming past, a bit noisy. You observe it. Now, here's the hard part: without any commentary. So that means the moment you observe something that's triggered you, you'll have a model or an experience that says, oh, that's fear, or that's because I'm out of my depth. Or the moment you connect with your mind and put an experience to it, or label it, or comment on it, you bring yourself, the ego, into it, and it perpetuates the conditioning. So what you have to do is just observe it with no comment, no experience, no model. And that's the hard thing. So you just observe it very keenly, the sensations and the wording and the behavior. You just observe your behavior, and this is absolute gold. I'm telling you this. Some of you have been on this channel for a long time. This, seeing your behavior, is the most priceless thing you can do for freedom from all the shit and your greed and violence and anger and fear and worry. All of that it can only come from observing without commenting. So it's very difficult, but it's also the moment you realize that there's nothing outside of you. You are your reality, and everything within it is a beautiful gift for you to know that conditioning. And fundamentally, we're here to de-engineer from our conditioning, to resolve things, to free ourselves. If you want to free the world, if you want to make a change in the world, the moment you use your mind to do that, you're going to create the opposite. I'm not going to go too much into that today, but that's why experts and scientists, oftentimes they don't see the complexity because their intellect is quite narrow, and they isolate things down and they create more problems than they started with. The only way to change your reality is to observe deeply your conditioning, your behavior. And I'm going to leave it there. That this video is super important. This is very difficult. I get triggered a lot because I really want to see what my conditioning is and observe it. What's the outcome of this? Well, if you're really trying to change if you want to be free and be more peaceful, empty and joyful, that is the outcome of doing this. If you're serious about freedom, there's a lot of people started following me who are Bitcoiners. I'm a Bitcoiner because I'm a freedom maximalist. If you're really interested in freedom, for your kids, freedom to do what you want and not take drugs when they're forced upon you, etc. You need to be the deepest freedom is freedom from the mind. That's the game. That's the game that we're here for. So if you have any comments on that, I'd love to hear from you. I'm starting to go uphill, so they've got serious hills here, by the way. If you want leg conditioning work, if you want to condition your legs, come to Madeira, because funny enough, I've been offered a car, or I could buy a car, rent a car, but I'm not going to. It will make it much easier, but I know that the return on investment on walking around everywhere is just, that compounding is going to keep me. It's like having a gym membership and having a personal trainer on my back the whole time. All right, everyone, thanks for listening. Any thoughts, let me know. Cheers.